Welcome to Coffee and Regs.
If we took what you've said in the last 10 or 15 minutes and we wanted to kind of wrap it up in, 2 or 3 bullet points for the investment manager and their compliance department, what would you tell them?
Um, I think it's really important to have a sort of data partnership that can evolve with the demands of this regulation. Um, we didn't talk for very long about the taxonomy. I've only mentioned it in part, but the taxonomy is another big piece of EU regulation that, while it doesn't apply directly to the financial sector as a whole in the way that the SFDR does, the data demands, impact disclosures made under the SFDR. And the taxonomy is just a good example of sort of the piecemeal development of ESG regulation within the EU. So the taxonomy sets out to identify green activities with regard to 6 environmental objectives. At the moment, the draft classification standards are only available for 2 of the 6 objectives, and so we'll be waiting
Uh,
for that to further develop. We've mentioned that the NFRD and changes that will be coming under the CSRD, so the Corporate Sustainability Reporting Directive. But we
right.
haven't seen those changes yet, so they're coming. So this regulation is continuing to evolve, and we'd expect that the obligations under the SFDR, which are also at the moment still only in draft form and still being finalized,
Right.
will continue to evolve. So I think that the starting point is a data partnership that can respond to the evolving compliance challenges over time. Um, I also think that it will be really important to have a global outlook because the EU is the start, but there are developments in other jurisdictions as well. The UK as a separate jurisdiction has taken has chosen a different path and has chosen to primarily focus on the environmental piece through through the requirement of the TCFD, the Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosures. Um, Within the U.S., under the current administration, the SEC is looking at is considering environmental related disclosures and has sought public input on what a potential disclosure scheme would look like. Um, so I think from an ESG regulatory perspective, having the global outlook, being able to have a system in place that can, allow you to be, I would say, flexible and to deal with the global regulation and the convergence and most likely divergence across jurisdictions.
This has been another episode of Coffee and Regs.